Welcome! Today we're going to talk about this lovely 2016 Tesla Model S 75 that we have for sale. We actually took this one in on trade for a pre-owned Model S Plaid. Obviously the customer liked the Model S, trading in for one of the newest cutting edge versions of the Model S, the Plaid. But for those of you who can't afford the Plaid budget, an older Model S might be a great proposition for a pre-owned vehicle. This is a 2016 Model S 75. Back in the day, Tesla would name their vehicles by the size of the battery. So this is a 75 kilowatt hour battery. When fully charged, you have a fully charged range of between 200 250 miles. Later on they had like the 90D, 100D, and then eventually they just got rid of using numbers and they just have like the Model S Long Range or the Model S Plaid. It's pretty simple now. Then we also have Highway Autopilot. Autopilot is traffic-aware cruise control, which allows the vehicle to brake and accelerate in its own lane. But the Highway Autopilot has a few tricks up its sleeve. You can actually put the turn signal on and it'll automatically change lanes for you. Pretty nice. You don't get that with the basic Autopilot. And this also has Summon, which allows you to pull the vehicle out or into a parking spot. It's not Smart Summon, but when you're close to the vehicle, if it's a tight squeeze, you can get on your phone and you can make the vehicle pull forward or backwards very slowly with you outside the vehicle. Oh, and we just switched to to dark mode. All right, so the Model S, this 2016 Model S is a little bit old as far as Tesla technology goes, but with over their updates, Tesla tries to keep things relevant. There are some limitations. This has the old Autopilot computer, so this one will never be able to be full self-driving. It's just, it doesn't have the hardware, cameras and stuff to operate full self-driving capability. But the Highway Autopilot is fantastic. I have a Tesla full self-driving. It's awesome, but the Highway Autopilot is fantastic as well. You can get a lot of mileage out of it. I actually can use Autopilot on regular back roads. It's not going to stop for red lights. It's not going to stop for stop signs. You need to keep your hand on the wheel and pay attention. But it can take a lot of mental workload off you, especially driving on the highway and that treacherous stop-and-go traffic. It is a godsend. We have a premium connectivity, which is included. Normally it's $10 a month on newer Teslas, but since this is grandfathered into the earlier Model S back then, they didn't charge you for it, so it's grandfathered in, so you don't have to pay $10 a month for premium connectivity. You get it included. So basically it's just like a cell phone data, which you can get, these live maps, which is pretty cool, and you can stream music and things like that. You have like the toy box, so you can do like the silly things like the whoopee cushion. There's a sketch pad. Then we also have arcade mode, so you can play video games, chess, things like that. We have the amazing supercharging network. You can use that lightning bolt to navigate to the superchargers. There's different levels. There's level 1, level 2, level 3 is the fast charging, the DC fast charging. We can see that we have lots of supercharging locations in the area, which is fantastic. No one else can compete with Tesla as far as fast charging goes. Then if you need the road trip in this thing, Tesla has amazing trip planner. For instance, if we want to go to Spokane, Washington, which is across the great state of Washington, we're in the Seattle-Tacoma area, you can use the trip planner and it will navigate you. We have about 115 miles of range, nowhere near enough range to make it without stopping, but it'll plan the trip for you. It'll tell you which superchargers to stop at, how long to charge for, and it'll take all the range anxiety out of owning an EV. It is fantastic. So yeah, you can always use a trip planner if you're not sure if you have enough juice to make it to your destination. It also can figure out round trips. And the trip planner is pretty complex. It takes into consideration outside temperature, elevation, tire pressure, wind speed. If there's like a 20-mile headwind, that could reduce your range. So it takes all that stuff into consideration. We have the really nice parking camera as well. Beautiful leather interior. In fact, they don't actually put real leather in Teslas anymore. They use a synthetic leather, so this real leather is nice. We have this nice suede cloth material on the roof. No roof panel or moonroof on this one. The moonroofs on these earlier Teslas actually were kind of a little temperamental. They would, be really slow. You'd have to maintenance and service and lubricate the track. So I'd actually prefer to not have a moonroof in one of these older Teslas because I'm pretty sure it might leak or give problems. So it's a little bit different. Eventually Tesla just actually stopped offering a moonroof that opens. They just have a glass panel now. All right, let's continue this walk around. And talking about this one's rear-wheel drive, which is a little bit different. They don't offer a rear-wheel drive version of the Model S anymore. But if you don't drive in the snow, you just do around the town driving here in the greater Puget Sound area, I think you'll be fine with rear-wheel drive, and you'll get a little bit better range versus a comparable all-wheel drive, since the rear-wheel drive one doesn't use as much electricity. So you get a little bit better range, a little bit better efficiency with a rear-wheel drive Model S 75 versus a comparable 70D with dual electric motors. Beautiful color combination in white with these black wheels. This thing is in absolutely beautiful condition, 80,000 miles. And people ask, oh, well, when am I going to have to replace the battery in the Tesla? How long do they last for? Well, the batteries in an EV, the batteries in Teslas are kind of like an engine in a car. They're not really designed to be replaced. They're designed to last the service life of the vehicle, but sometimes they prematurely go bad and they do need to get replaced. Luckily, I think this one actually still has a teeny bit of warranty left on the battery pack and drive units. It's on these older ones actually had unlimited mileage warranties, 8 years unlimited mileage warranties. So I'll pop it up on the screen if there's any remaining warranty in this one. So that will give you a little bit of peace of mind. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if the battery does go bad, it can be expensive. It could be $20,000, $30,000 to put a new battery in this thing. There are companies popping up that offer refurbished batteries, giving you an option outside of going through a Tesla service center for a battery. But honestly, you know, $20,000, $30,000 is a lot of money. It's pretty much what the car is worth. And that's the nice thing about these old Model S's. I don't get too much in the pricing, but now you can get some of these older Model S's in the $20,000 price range, just like this one. And this is a lot of luxury car. I mean, you'd compare this to like a S-Class or E-Class Mercedes or BMW 5 or 7 Series. You wouldn't compare this to like a Toyota Corolla. It's very smooth and quiet, very luxurious. And you don't have a lot of issues that you would have like with an older European vehicle, like oil leaks. You know, those older European cars tend to start leaking oil. Believe me, I put cars through the shop as used car manager. I see the health reports on all our cars. And yeah, some of those older European cars, especially with 80, 100,000 miles, a lot of times we're sending them to the auction just because they just need too much work. It's too expensive to put them through our service department. So that's a big perk about a vehicle like this. Yes, the battery can be very expensive to replace, but aside from that, you don't have thousands of moving parts, you have dozens. There's a lot less to go wrong. And Tesla doesn't gouge you as far as repairs go. Probably one of the most common thing to go wrong in these older Model S's is pop-out door handles. They break. But it's only about $300 to get them replaced at the service center. I'd think like if it was a BMW or a Mercedes that had a pop-out door handle, it'd probably cost thousands of dollars to replace it in my experience. You know, just like buying any used vehicle, especially like if you're buying a used, you know, BMW or Mercedes out on warranty, there is always a chance that you could have a major issue. The transmission or engine could go bad, which could be very expensive to replace. Replacing an engine in a high-performance BMW or Mercedes product that's out of warranty could cost almost as much as replacing a battery pack in a Tesla. So you have to take that into consideration. So yes, there's definitely a risk if you buy an older Model S or X like this, or 3 or Y, it's out of warranty, that, you know, you could have a battery that goes prematurely bad out of warranty, and then, you know, you're either have to pay for one or the car is totaled, you can't afford to replace it. That is a risk. You know, so, you know, that's a trade-off of buying a newer vehicle under warranty versus an older used car out of warranty. Just like anything, there is risks. But also, there are lots of these Model S's on the road with 200, 300,000 miles. There's actually one with over 1 million miles. That one's, I think, had several battery packs replaced, but I think it averaged about a new battery pack every 300,000 miles, which is pretty good. If you could get 200,000 or 300,000 miles out of a battery pack in this car, I think you're doing really well. You know, a lot of gas cars won't last that long. But there are plenty of examples of these Model S's with lots of miles on them. There's actually a Tesla high mileage club. So the majority of them, they do last a long time. The majority of them do go 100, 200, 300,000 miles. But there are examples that do have batteries that prematurely go bad, and yes, it can be expensive and it can suck for that person. But it could also suck for that person who buys an out of warranty BMW M5 and the engine goes bad and it's $20,000 or $30,000 to replace it with a new engine at the BMW service department. So you got to look at that both ways. But if you're looking for, you know, an affordable all-electric vehicle, these Model S's are starting to get really affordable now, in the $20,000 price range, and even under $20,000 for examples of over 100,000 miles. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this little video, this little walk around. Hopefully it was informative. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.